Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I am your host Sleepy Celestial. So guys, happy belated holidays, happy Thanksgiving to the places that you are in right now. So I wanted to give you guys a special event tonight. So we're going to be covering three more American Horror Story, and then we will begin chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a special announcement. So once I release all of the American Horror Story coverage, you guys will see the announcement. So I wanted to talk about my American Horror Story news yet again. This time we'll be talking about part 5. Now, my interest for this episode is going to be focused on that while season 13 could be considered a unlucky number in the spiritual world, we could also focus on that when season 8 came out back in 2018 and the announcement of Apocalypse. We just knew the connection between the Rosemary type of baby, or even the little Antichrist child from Murder House. We just knew all of these things were connected. I think the promotional rollout for season 8 was such phenomenal case that it had me to think when season 8 officially aired, and that it was literally like the end game, like Marvel. The connection that this season did was phenomenal. I definitely put it on the very high rank of my season of American Horror Story. Now, one big other connection that it also gave us is that we got to see the in and outs of the Warlocks, and the Warlocks have a theory that one day a new Warlock will come in and they will supplant the Supreme, which Cordelia at that time was the Supreme, and that when Michael Langdon, they thought that he was the Alpha, and that he was gonna replace Cordelia and basically become the Supreme for both parties, such the witches and the Warlocks. Now, from what we know, the only way a Warlock Supreme could rise is that they must inhibit all of the tests of the 7 wonders by bestowing the abilities to be a level 4 or higher. Alpha is considered like a 5 or a 4 in the American Horror Story world, because a Supreme is a 4, which outranks a 3, which is a Warlock. Now, it's amazing to see that all this time I remember watching this, I really thought Timothy was going to be some sort of like powerful Warlock that is going to find a way where he'll be the first in the universe to represent the witches and the Warlocks, but that never became the case. So for spoiler alerts, for those who haven't watched American Horror Story season 8, I suggest you skip this part. But for those that has watched it, we know that at the end of season 8, Timothy was now the new surrogate father of the rebirth of the next Antichrist at the end of season 8. Thus, the timeline now continues. So what I'm thinking for season 13 and beyond, and I did mention this, I believe American Horror Story is not going to stop there. I think they are at the midway point of the entire anthology with season 13, and we have more seasons to go. I think in total it would be fitting that they have at least 13 or 23 seasons, right? I think that would be awesome to see. But like I said, with the Hawthorne Boys School and how the ranking goes based on the way that they have the 4 blessings, I think it's called the 5 blessings, or the 4 blessing elements. That is one of their test version of the 7 wonders, because each Warlock represent a different element, either fire, water, earth, and wind. And Michael Langdon was able to pass all of those tests. Thus, he was now given one of the hardest tests, is to perform the 7 wonders. Now, due to the fact that he was the spawn of the devil, he was able to grab Queenie as well as Madison and Misty Day without, going for a scratch. So that got me thinking, and this next season, which is season 13, which we don't know the announcement of the name yet, would we ever have a season where they give us a more flushed out of the coven for the males, like the Warlocks? I would love to have a American Horror Story Warlock to give us a backstory or more flushed out of the Warlocks. I think it was a great introduction to the anthology universe, how they have counterparts where they never could reach the power of a witch because their testosterone is basically a prohibited limiter in the spiritual realm. So I think with this next season or future season, would we ever see a good version of the male supreme into power? Like, who would actually hold the throne? It would be fitting that they would change the generation and finally create a hierarchy where there's a male supreme and there's a female supreme, thus having the joint powers unite. Now, I'm not sure, can a supreme marry a warlock, thus creating alpha? That would be interesting to see. Is that the way an alpha could be created? Because with Michael Langdon, this was not natural. This was basically like a cheat code, because he was born out of two separate things, thus was influenced, and at that same time he still was a kid. It's just that he did not know what he's doing. I feel as if with the way the timeline ended, the next Antichrist child creature is going to be much smarter, and I think it's going to rise not overnight, but it's going to take time. And with time comes with suspicion, and I think that will happen sooner than later. See you guys for part 6. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much.